But Larry had scored like 35 on him like halfway through the third quarter and was just jogging back down the court and said, "Man, you need to retire." And it was just like,
Man, he didn't play. He had a sore knee. But my point to you is this: Larry gave me 50 and 3/4.
Oh my God!
And so in the jump ball circle, Larry walked through myself and Chambers, and then came back and told Chambers, "I know you guarding me, and I want you to know something. There's only one man that can guard me, and that's God."
Oh,
he
called.
Think about the comp.
What's up, you official boy, real game official, man, and we back with another video today, man. This is a late night upload. I'm gonna be doing that on the channel every day. We're gonna have a late night one, and I say the best for the last. You always gotta say the best for the last, man. This video been requested on like mainly like all of my videos, especially the ones that been going viral. React to Larry Bird trash talking moments and highlights. Like he was one of the best trash talkers ever, bro. They said back in the day in the 80s and 90s. So we got 45 minutes of that. It says, well, actually 46 minutes and 11 seconds of the stories told about him trash talking. So we about to get into it, man. This gonna be fun, man. I love doing these reactions. But y'all stay tuned. Y'all like, share, subscribe, all of that. And y'all comment the next video y'all want me to react to down below. But let's get into this. Bird, he's that guy.
Away with it. Up to Bird. Theus is back. Larry spins through a crowd
Ooh.
for two.
Already with a good highlight.
Hey guys, this is Dominique Wilkins.
Hey, this is Sean Kemp.
This is Gary Payton.
Hey, this is Pau Gasol.
NBA fans, what's up? This is Vince Carter here.
Hey, what's up? This is Matt Barnes. If you're an old school NBA fan like I am, make sure you check out the Basketball Time Machine with my man Sean David.
Hello and good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Basketball Time Machine. My name is Sean David. Thanks for tuning in. Let's talk some old school NBA basketball. For the past 6 years, I've been covering Larry Bird, and I told you many times that he's my second most favorite player of all time. And I also had a couple of NBA legends explain Larry Bird story videos. And I thought, there are so many classic stories that some of you guys probably never seen because I posted them like 4 years ago, but I also found some new clips. And I always wanted to have this extra large video about Larry. Simple fact, lying in bed, listening to the stories, just let your mind wander and listen to the greats speaking about the greats. And yeah, so this is what's going to happen in this video. But before we start with that, let me ask you guys for a small favor. If you like the content, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I would say, let's take a look at Larry Legend. Now the first stories that we're going to take a look at are, obviously, you have trash talk stories, you have some funny stories, you have some mind-boggling stories, and some stories that you can't believe that a human being actually did that. So let's take a look and give it a start.
Larry Bird, to me, it was so much fun playing against him because he talked so much shit. The story goes that when he played against Denver, they had a guy named John Hansley. They put him on Larry, and Larry was weighing his ass out. Absolutely. And Larry would run by the bench and tell Doug Moe, who was the coach, get him off me. That's disrespectful.
Yeah.
What's disrespectful?
Yeah.
He says, disrespectful for y'all to put a white guy on me.
Yeah.
Dang.
I love it.
Put a black guy on me. That's why
He was
gives
talking
Coop
like
so
that?
much. He still says to this day, Coop is the best defender he's ever played
Bird was talking like that.
against.
Wow. Stupid.
But he was like, you disrespecting me by putting a white guy on me.
I feel you.
But that's Larry, because when he played back in the day, that's all he played against was brothers. So he was like, don't put no white guy on me, that's disrespect. So
What?
So
Wow.
he said, I had to torch his ass so they understand.
You ain't gonna see him again.
Get him off me.
Yeah.
But that was Larry Bird.
I think the story that sums up Larry the best was back then when we flew commercial, we didn't fly private. We played in a Tuesday night game in Cleveland. And of course, we got up for the first flight out. We had a game on Wednesday night in New Jersey.
We gotta do a video on McHale too. Like I heard he was like that back in the day. Like he was an enforcer. I heard.
We're at the airport at 7 in the morning. Flight's canceled at 7. It's canceled at 8. It's canceled at 9. It's canceled at 10. Canceled at 11, 12. We finally leave about 1:30 or 2 in the afternoon. We fly up to New Jersey. Now the storm has kind of moved into Jersey. And the bus driver says, well, I can't get to the hotel, into the arena. I can only go to one place. Well, we had a game that night. We go to the arena. So we get to the arena, and I mean, we're dragging. And we're sitting around the locker room, and, and everybody's kind of, we're tired, and, and all of a sudden, the coach gives a little bit of a speech of, come on, man, guys, we're playing basketball. Let's get ready to go. And Larry stands up, and Larry says, a couple other few choice words, and he says, I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to take it out on their rear ends. So I was like, oh, all right, so let's go. So we go on the floor. Albert King sitting there. Larry walks up to Albert King and goes, don't take this butt whooping personally. I've been eating hot dogs all day. And then Albert King looks at him like, wow. You've been eating hot dogs all day? What's that got to do with me? And we went out and just hammered him. I mean, we terrorized them. And that was Larry. There was no excuses. I mean, he just played. And I tell you, that was just his competitive nature. But a day when you fly all day and eat hot dogs in the airport, best thing was Albert's look on his face like,
crazy
what hot dogs got to do with me?
The game he played against the Lakers, the first year that the Celtics won the World Championship with him on the team, and he was ridiculous. He came out here. I remember our sportscaster played the Superman theme when he was talking about him that night after the game, because he did everything, points, rebounds, assists, just steals, you name it. Larry has such a great mind for the game, and a great touch. I had a lot of respect for him as a competitor.
I remember sitting on the bench watching Kevin McHale and Larry Bird. And Larry Bird did something. To me, I'm still marveled at this. And he got so many people. It was a timeout. And one of our teammates, Bart Kofold, had a camera. Right. He's taking pictures. So Larry Bird came over there and looked at our bench. And he said, 3-pointer from right over here. So I'm sitting over there looking like that Babe Ruth, calling your shot already, right?
Wow.
So Isaiah, I'm sitting there looking. He looked down at the floor. Hell, everybody looked down at the floor. He like.
Dance your way to LA.
And battle for a chance to win.
I have been using tons of creams and serums, but nothing has...
Like he threw something, and he hit a 3.
Dang.
And I remember Kevin kind of looking over at the bench like this is going to be a long night.
One of the all-time greats, one of our heroes that we watched and competed against, and brilliant basketball mind. But you remember the story when we for some reason, we were in the layup line, and Reg and I, as the captains of the team, we had, I don't remember what we had to go back.
People are not going to believe this.
I don't remember what we had to go back and talk to Larry Bird about before the game. 20 seconds on the clock, we're getting layups. Reg and I jog off the court, go into the back. And what you take it from there?
So Jack and I, we go back into the locker room and we're like, where's Coach? Where's Coach Bird? And they're like, oh, he's in his office. We go to his office. He's not in his office. We're like, the trainers are back there. We're like, he's like, hurry up. We got to get back out to the court. Like, where is he? And then, you know what? It even might have been, God rest his soul, Slick. Looks us like, go check the shower. So we head back to the shower because, we had to ask him this question, before we got out there. We go around the corner. Larry Legend sitting in a chair. He's got a pack of Newports. Just smoking away.
Wow.
What you guys need? We're
like,
we're good, Coach. Don't worry about it, right? We're good. We're good. He's like, all right, I'll see you guys out there in a few minutes. I look at Jack. Jack looks at me. He's like, did we just Larry in there smoking a Newport? Right? We're like, this is Larry Legend. Did y'all ever bring it up to him? No.
And it's documented the worst first half that a starting backcourt has had.
Oh my God.
We
I couldn't take a shot.
We were mentally gone. Our hero, what we just witnessed affected us.
Now, mind you, remember now how we look at Larry Bird in our eyes. Number one, we played against him. I patterned my game after Larry Legend. You know, being from Riverside, this is the mid 80s. Of course, it was Lakers Boston. That was the rivalry. And you had to pick sides. So, you know, we were Laker fans. But I patterned my game after Larry Bird. I wanted to know how he worked out, how he approached games, his trash talking, all that.
Playing at the Garden, man, on his last leg. Last leg, we're playing him, and he told me, young fella, let me tell you something. I can shoot a jumper anywhere I want to. And he said, you supposed to be a great defender, right? He said, I'm going to make sure I tell you where I'm going to shoot the ball at. And I was like, man, come on now. You're not going to shoot the ball. And so he said, I'm going to take you over in that corner right there. You see it over there by my bench, right? And I'm going to give you something, and it's going to be this jumper. Right. And I said, wow, watch this. So all of a sudden, we playing, and I'm D'ing him up, and he slow-balled me. That's where I got the slow ball. Put your back to your back like this, and his back was bad during this time. So he went right to that corner, and I'm up on him, I'm under him, and he said, young fella, what did I tell you I was going to do? And he turned around, raised up, looked around, it was all draws.
Oh, my God. Nothing he could do about
I ain't
it.
going to mess with you no more.
I spent
Dang.
the last couple of days with Magic Johnson shooting the Capital One commercials. And every time I see him, I tell him thank you. Because Magic Johnson and Larry Bird are the two most important figures in NBA history.
I agree.
I don't know if people, I don't know how this is going to play with America, right? but let me just tell you what this dude told me one time, right? Now, all back line at one time it was Kelly Tripucka, Bill Laimbeer, Kim Benson. 3 white dudes.
2 of them I ain't ever heard of.
Okay. All right. So we walk out on the court, and he said, who guarded me? So Larry used to always call me Cheesy, right? He's like, Cheesy, who guarded me? And I was like, you know, you got Kelly, you got Lamb, I got Benson. He's like, you ain't got no brothers? He's like you? He's like you?
Disrespecting me.
That's what he said.
Straight up.
That's exactly what he said. He said, hey man, you can't put no white dude on me.
Hey.
That is straight disrespect.
I remember him, he was cursing under his breath. And I asked him, I said, Larry, what's going on with you? He says, you guys are being disrespectful to me. And I says, what are you talking about? He says, you guys are putting a white guy on me. That's disrespectful.
Wait, who's the white guy you put on it?
I can't remember who it was. I just started laughing. I had no comeback. But he says, it's disrespectful when y'all put a white guy on me. And I'm sitting there like, I'm laughing in the middle of a game.
It was my rookie season, my first game I ever played against him.
What'd he say?
And that was the only thing. I can't even tell you what he said.
Clean up the language. What?
You know, one of the things the first thing, I think really the only thing he said to me, I'm guarding him. It's my first play. You know, he's coming down the court and I'm guarding him. He looks at me, he said, I don't know why they have you guarding me, Holmes. And he shoots the 3. Now, I wasn't upset he made the 3. I said, but this son of a gun just called me Holmes. But, you know, but it was funny because after that, because they knew I was gonna keep coming, you know.
So we could stop all that. Well, not stop because nobody ever said it, but all of them soft allegations ain't never been on Bird, man. It ain't like he was the most friendly person out here. He was trash talking now. Nah, he ain't really, you know. Wasn't trying to offend nobody for real, but it's like he was talking for real. You see what I'm saying?
The only time he ever
and backing it up.
Talked to us, and then we had a lot of respect for each other over the years, and so I never forget that one thing though, man. I'm like, I was so hot, you know.
Hit on a nice
And I remember we was at the jump circle, and I go shake Larry Bird's hand. He put both hands behind his back. I'm like, you know what? Maybe he's just getting into the game. You know, I'm trying to give him the benefit down. I was so mad, so I'm coming down the left side, and I go up the fast break, and he comes out, and I'm pumping it behind my head, and he jumped. I said, I got him. Boom. He's sitting down on the ground. I'm pointing like this. He said, "Hey, Rook." I'm like, "What?" He said, "I like you. You got balls, but I'm still getting 40 on your ass."
Yeah, I tell a whole lot of people this when they talk about great players and they bring up Larry Bird. I said, listen, the dude couldn't jump, wasn't fast, but wasn't athletic. But you look on the score, the score sheet after the game, he got 25, 15 rebounds, 9 assists, a few steals. I said, the dude just knew how to play, right? And the thing that I loved about him is that he was a shit talker. And I wish you would have got a chance to play against him, Robert, because I swear to God, you'd have loved playing against him because the dude would just tell you where he's going, shoot it in your face, talk shit to you, and run back down the floor.
Yeah.
And he was just one of those guys that, he just had it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he had it, and I saw it in college, and obviously saw it a whole lot closer when we get a chance to play against the Celtics. He was the biggest trash talker back in the day.
It's a birthday for a legend in the league.
Larry Legend.
61 for Larry Bird.
Yes.
Who's got Larry Bird stories?
Brad Daugherty told me this story when he was second year in the league and they were in the playoffs against the Celtics. Down one, Larry Bird catches the ball in the deep corner and he steps back for a three. And before he takes the three, he's like, oh wow, he's going for the win. He's not going for the tie. And so Brad Daugherty runs out and he head fakes him. And as he head fakes him, now it's 3-2, he hits him on the butt with the ball. And then he shoots it at the buzzer. And the confidence that hit him on the butt as he flew by him trying to block a shot, I'm like, there's no more confidence.
I wasn't around long because he was hurt when I was playing that first year or second year. But I just remember one quick thing. We were playing against him, and I think I stole the ball from him. And I just remember him turning around saying, "You little piece of like that, to me, that was Larry Bird. And I was so happy because I'm like, that Larry Bird told me you're a little piece of you know what I'm saying? Like, because I idolized Larry Bird. I called him a piece of
You do a very good job at editing yourself on that.
Just talked about Larry Bird.
Oh shit, that's the main shit. He's like your Magic, your Kareem, that once in a lifetime player, franchise changing player. That's the category that Larry was in. And not to mention, I like the way he led us as a team. He wasn't in your face, that talking trash to you. He led by example. No matter how poorly you playing, Coop, he never got on you. Only thing he would say to you, try to pick it up if you can. You had one of them nights, things just not going your way. He always spoke, with encouragement. You never tried to put players down. And I always respected that about Larry.
He could come into this because I heard he was good at this. Biggest and best trash talker. I don't think anybody talks shit to you. But Scotty, who would you like? Who are the ones that, whether they were good at it or not, who are the ones that were just giving gabber the whole time?
Gary Payton talked a lot. But in my era, probably Larry Bird. He would talk trash and do something tricky.
The question we ask everybody who come on the show is, when you first made it to the NBA, who was the first person to bust your ass?
Man, I'm gonna keep this real with y'all, man. My ass got busted real early, man. I came into the league, man. I was 19. You know how some of them vets, man, they play you to the T, man. I got played down in Boston one night. We was playing Boston Celtics. So the great Larry Bird. I didn't really know much about it. I'm from Indiana. Larry's from Indiana. I knew about the history of Larry, but I didn't realize how he really got down. When we got to Boston that morning, I knew something wasn't right. I saw an X-Man. He was limping around the court a little bit like he was sore. I figured he'd be all right,
Xavier McDaniel.
I figured he'd be all right by that time. I go to the game on the early bus. I get there. They come out on the court. They say, "Hey, Sean, you starting tonight against Larry." And I was like, well, damn. I'm all for it, though, So the X-Man, he didn't play. He had a sore knee. But my point to you is this: Larry gave me 50 and 3/4.
Oh my God. Oh my God. 53 on a sore knee? Y'all see what happened with Bron? They had to carry him to the bench. 53 points on a sore knee? Oh my God. He's tough.
Oh my! he was hitting everything.
And he talked to me the whole entire game.
What he say?
Talking him through 53 points.
Well, first of all, he asked me at the jump ball. He said, "You the cat that broke all my records in high school, right?"
Oh,
and I was like, "Yeah,
he's
that's me."
going
He goes, "Yeah, you're the one that used to dunk my brother too, right?" Like Eddie. And I was like, "Yeah, that's me." He said, "I got something for you tonight." So every shot he was calling. At the defensive end, he would tell me, he'd be like, "When I get down to the other end, I'm going to pump face you, get a hand one on you, look at you, go off the glass." That's how cold Larry Bird was.
Oh my God.
And that's the legend. Like people
And this
say
Sean
that he
Kemp,
was
y'all.
the dirtiest.
This Sean Kemp, he was like that, man. I heard about Sean Kemp.
His trash talking, one of the best trash talkers. Like the one game he played and told dude, "I'm shoot all left hand buckets on you." So he really talked like that.
So, being from the streets, man, I was to the point of like, look, I'm going to foul him so hard that he's basically going to take his will. He started shooting the ball with his left hand, man. I was trying to foul his right arm. He was shooting with his left hand, banking it off on me, looking at me, still slapping me on my butt and everything, man, telling me everything. You know what I'm saying?
Now see, that's something that he didn't hit you. He didn't hit you on the butt. Now I got to fight you.
And then Larry, he actually invited me to his house that summer after the game, man. He told me, he said, "That's the best defense I've seen so far, the best effort." I get
Because you still compete.
50 and 3/4, but that was the best effort I've seen in a long time.
Oh my, he cold.
He come to the house and shoot around.
That was the backhand compliment.
With me this summer, I show you how to shoot the ball, young fella.
Larry Legend.
Straight up.
I think the sport, and compared to today, there was trash talkers back then, but it was done in a kind of nicer way. I remember my rookie year, but I didn't guard him, Larry Bird. We played him in the Boston Garden, and I was in the paint, and somehow the ball was swung around. Larry had caught it, and I was running out to Larry Bird, and his famous motion, he just kind of shot it. As I was running out, he said, "Too late, rookie." That's what too late, rookie. And obviously it went down, and I just shook my head and ran down to the other end.
That was like your introduction
That was my
to the
intro
league,
to the league. It's like, "Welcome, rookie. You know who I am, Larry Legend. That's who I am." Too late.
It's respect. This ain't nothing bad. So I said, let me see what he can do.
But Larry's had something that most white boys don't have. Just say that. Just keep it real.
Man,
Larry's different now. Larry's different now.
He had a little bit of nigger.
Yeah, he was different now.
He's stupid.
He was different now.
He's
Larry's
stupid.
different now.
That boy, he can play, man. He turned it out. We played on a team in college in a tournament together. This is the first time I ever sat on the bench. Him and I were on the bench. And we was like, the guys in front of us wasn't better than us, but Kentucky head coach was coaching the team, so he started 3 guys from Kentucky. So we said, okay. But when we got in the game, we turned it out. But I saw this dude eat Jack Givens up. He was player of the year that year.
Kentucky, right?
Yeah, from Kentucky. And Larry Bird was just slicing and dicing him. And I said, oh, I called home. I said, "It's true about this boy." I was calling everybody. This dude can play.
I always thought of myself as a very, very confident player.
Yeah.
But Bird especially, and had a whole nother level of confidence than I ever was able to accomplish and achieve. But he just gave you so much confidence. Like you could depend on him. You could just see his confidence, and he just added to everybody else's confidence.
How was it when you first met him? What was that interaction like, and getting to know him?
He was great. I mean, he was a worker. We played a lot of one-on-one, full court.
Oh my God, I didn't even see that.
In practice every day, I got to know Larry really well. But he was a great worker, a great teammate. He told me when he didn't think I was taking a good shot. I tell people all the time when they start complaining, "Oh, the coach doesn't believe in me," or the star player on our team doesn't believe in me. I go, "Bro, when I played with Bird, he'd pass it, he'd get double teamed, he'd throw me the ball, but if I missed 3, he's not coming. I'm not coming back to me. You got to earn those shots.
You do.
You got to earn the respect of your coach and your star players all the time. You got to earn that respect. Every game you got to like be reliable and dependable. And that was what I loved about Bird.
Everybody talk about how Bird, his trash talking is legendary. As his teammate, like, what was it like the first time you saw, or can you give a story, him telling somebody, I'm about to come off this screen? Because we didn't have Worthy on here, and Worthy like, yo, he said, I'm about to do this, that, then he come right off and do it.
Well, I mean, Larry was a quiet guy, and he wasn't like a loud and obnoxious personality, but he had a great sense of humor, and he was a character. And most of the time, his trash talking, it seemed like it was for motivation. It wasn't like he was just always trash talking to everybody. It was spotty, but when he did it, it was big.
Right.
Like I'm going to, is Xavier McDaniel's story where, I'm going to shoot it fake here, shoot it there. And, and they did exactly. And it had nothing to do with the play call.
Right.
Like our coach would call timeout and we're going to do this. And like we walk on the court and Bird just looks at me and goes, no. Give me the ball right there. And then he does what he told McDaniel he was going to do. I saw playoff games where, we're trying to exploit a matchup. McHale's having an amazing game against Milwaukee. I remember in Milwaukee. And so we're running a post up for him against Marcus Johnson. And so I set a cross screen for McHale, comes in the post. I come off a down screen and I look up and I go, he ain't passing the ball. He's just holding the ball, like looking at McHale in the post like this, and then boom, just shoots a three and makes it. But, he just really wanted to motivate himself. But the most uncharacteristic one was he didn't usually trash talk to like Magic, Dr. J, guys like that. He just, he had so much respect for them. But I remember the big fight between him and Dr. J where Moses and we're holding him back, Dr. J was swinging. It was like so uncharacteristic of Dr. J. As you guys know, Dr. J, I mean, he's the nicest guy in the world.
Definitely.
But Larry had scored like 35 on him like halfway through the third quarter and was just jogging back down the court and said, man, you need to retire. And it was just like...
Put the work in.
Oh, Dr. J?
Mommy, I have to go potty.
Dr. J lost his mind, and that's where that story had started.
One of the biggest trash talkers that you'll ever see in your life.
Okay, that's what I want to hear
Larry talked more
about.
trash on the court than anybody. He'd tell you where he's going. He'd tell you when he catches it, there's nothing you can do about it. He was, and it was great trash talking because it wasn't vulgar. I mean, he wasn't, pounding his chest. You can just be standing next to him. I would jump out and try to block a shot on rotation, and he'd say, Scott, you're not getting that. Why are you even jumping? Why are you running out of it?
Too little.
So as a youngster, can you guys, starting with you, Paul, think of players that you didn't like growing up? Or even teams.
This is very
Does
ironic.
it have to be basketball? It could be any sport. It could be boxing. It could be baseball.
Well, I was a avid basketball fan, and growing up in Los Angeles, Inglewood, down the street from the Forum, I couldn't stand the Celtics.
That is crazy, right?
I hated the Celtics so much.
That makes sense.
You understand the rivalry? I hated Larry Bird. I hated just everything about the Celtics. So it's real ironic that I get drafted by the Celtics.
Going to be up there with all the great Celtics. Larry Bird is probably one of the most important players that ever played in this franchise. And just to be up there, have your name up there with him is a great honor. To me, even until today, one of my favorite stories is the left-handed story. I'm pretty sure most of you guys know that story, but this to me is the perfect example of what 80s and 90s NBA basketball was all about. That cockiness, but always backing it up, I remember when I still used to play, it was always so funny when you had guys who were trash talking but could not back it up, and it was like, why are you even talking? But to hear the stories, and you hear those stories from like every player on the planet that played against Larry Bird, that he was always able to back it up, and that just shows what a sensational player he was. Let's take a look.
Changed by the coach. He's installed Jerome Kersey in the starting lineup.
Well, he's put a tiger in the tank. He feels that Jerome Kersey is going to give him some aggressiveness, particularly against Larry Bird.
Jerome Kersey's guarding Larry. I think his first
8 or 10 points were left-handed. And at that point, Mikhail was still coming off the bench. And so Larry scores his 6th point on some kind of left-handed shot.
Bird against Kersey.
Damn. And that's not even his dominant hand.
Goes, hey, Jerome, wait till he starts shooting right-handed.
Change for Bird, another three-point try.
And with both
Well, left
hands.
hand's one thing, but when the game got close, I had to go back to the right one. I think it went right down the wire, and we might have won by 1 point.
Beat you right there. You got to keep them under control. They don't.
And the Blazers have timeout with 3 seconds remaining.
His ability to just bring it out every single day. You know, he could
Bill Walton.
outscore you, he could out-rebound you.
Bird kept it alive to Walton for 2. What a play!
He could pass better than you, he could defend better than you, he could lead better, he could dribble better, he could set up plays, he could be the decoy. He could do it all.
Bird winds up three-pointer. Yes, Bird's last three-pointer, so he tries another one.
Well, you had the Bird night.
I had the Bird night.
New Orleans.
Yeah, that was a tough night, man. The biggest argument that night is, well, you only scored 6 on me.
But nobody was guarding Bird, were they?
Well, we were trying.
You were trying to.
No, but when a guy is literally coming up the court, calling his shots, and Bird talked a lot of trash.
And that's in New Orleans.
That's in New Orleans. In that game, we're on the free throw line, and he literally says, left side over across the 3, and you're listening to him. That's a tough feeling.
But okay, so you guys got Antoine Carr and Cliff Levingston got fined by Fratello, I think,
and Eddie Johnson for celebrating
Bird.
Yeah, it was the best film session. Every time when I see Mike, we still laugh.
God,
it was the greatest film session ever, because back then you didn't have, you watched the real game and just went, with a video, and Mike rewound the celebration 20 times. He just kept not the shot, he just kept rewinding it, showing the guys. You remember they were giving each other high five.
And then somebody falls off the bench.
Yeah,
too.
that was Eddie Johnson.
Yeah.
Eddie Johnson falls off the bench in laughter, and Antoine Carr and Cliff gives each other high five, and our film session was 20 minutes of that. So it wasn't
somebody not playing good defense on Bird. It was you guys celebrating Larry Bird.
And Fratello wouldn't let it go. He just kept rewinding. And it was.
I think Bird went by the bench one time too.
He fell in the bench.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, and he called that one. That was the one where he fell in it. He literally said, "Off the glass into the trainer."
Did you ever get yelled at by Jordan or Bird?
Bird was the only one that really kind of, in his soft-spoken way, when we talk about guys talking trash.
Yeah.
Hey, Rook, good to see you. Hey, great college career. I'm gonna catch the ball. I'm gonna pump fake. You're gonna reach for it. You're gonna get fouled. 2 tweets. You're gonna have a seat. Lo and behold, Dan, he catches the ball. He pump fakes. I go for it. I reach. First foul. I come down court. Scott Skiles kicks me the ball. I shoot a 3 in your face, Larry Legend. Yes, I'm feeling good, Dan. He catches the ball again, catches it. My dumb self reaches for it again. Tweet, go have a seat. I see you second quarter, Rupp.
Oh, my God.
So that's how Larry Bird.
Speaking of shooting threes, Coach, we had a poll question on here. Just to let you know, I had nothing to do with this poll question. I'm going to let one of the Danettes, McLovin, ask you this question because he's been dying to ask you this.
Okay, if you had to bet a week's pay, who would win a three-point shooting contest, Larry Bird or Reggie Miller?
Now?
No.
In their prime.
Look, by the way, you won, just to let you know. You won this.
Here's how I'll put it, Reggie. If you was my teammate in the pros, I would win hands down. But if I had the great opportunity to coach you, I'd say you win.
Oh, okay. Look, I'm just letting you know. I picked you. It was a dead tie, 2-2. I was the tiebreaker, no question. You at the three-point competition, walking in the locker room. Who's playing? Did you really say that? Who's playing for second?
Yeah, I did.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
I didn't realize there's so much tension on it. I'm out there every day in front of these fans. And
who were some of the guys? Who were some of the guys in the competition at that time when you walked in? Who was in that field? Come on, Coach.
He ain't finna say it.
No, I don't really remember.
Dell Ellis. Dell Ellis.
Yeah, Dale. What's
Hodges.
the kid that's Hodges.
John Stonvold.
The kid that's refereeing now. The one that always.
Lester.
Leon Wood.
Leon Wood.
Leon Wood never crossed the 3-point line. All he did was he always shot threes. So I thought he might be the competition. And because I seen him shoot before games, he'd knock him down. So when I walked in there, he's sitting there, and I said, boy, them red, white, and blue balls are so slippery, I can't hold on to them. And the next time I came, I said, okay, now they're down to the nitty-gritty. Who's coming in second? You already know who's going to win this. and I got lucky because I almost got beat in the first round.
But what was the reaction after you said that? Like, oh, that's just Larry Legend, or did it get dead silence in there?
It was silent.
My favorite trash talking by Larry, and Kevin was a pretty good trash talker too, but Larry was when they trash talk coaches, like when they trash talk Hubie Brown. And they're sitting there playing in Madison Square Garden, and he's just going like taking the ball out of bounds in front of their bench, so the whole bench can hear him,
right?
And go like, Hubie, this all you got for me tonight? Like you got no one else that can guard me?
To the coaches, you know how much of a dog you got to be and confident to be trash talking to coaches. Oh my God, Larry, he really a legend.
He really and then Hubie would put in like Johnny Newman would be running in the game. He goes, "Wait, are you serious? That's the guy you're putting on me?" But it was those subtle things that he said that were just, they were so funny, but we loved it. Even the other bench, even Hubie's team in New York is like laughing at Bird's trash talking.
I was the first guy really to guard Larry. And I remember I was like you. I was the king of the mountain, man. I was averaging about 20 and 10 when Bird got here. Yeah. So I'm thinking he's coming to this building. I'm looking at him, but we have the first practice. I'm thinking like, this ought to be a piece of cake. Yeah. Guy don't look fast, don't look good. Yeah. I'm about to do something to him.
Yeah. Indiana.
Boy, I'm telling you what, it changed my opinion about racism in this world.
Oh my God.
Because I remember he scored the first basket, Jet, on me. I scored on him, second basket. But as I proceeded, he started going further and further and further away. By the end of the practice, it finished. The first black person I went to, I said, you know what? That fucking white guy can play down there.
A favorite Larry Bird story?
I don't tell Larry Bird stories.
Do you tell Michael Jordan
Larry
stories?
Bird. Larry is such a unique personality. I don't have necessarily stories on him. What challenges me is I marvel at people who think the guy is a hick. Larry is one of the smartest, pragmatic people I know. And my mother, God rest her soul, was very bright. Coach Knight and Bill Russell are probably the two brightest people that I know. Larry is maybe right under that in that category. And when people keep talking about him being a hick, Larry understood what he understands as well as anybody is personalities and people. And that's why he would do his junk talking for airing here on radio, because he understood people who would let that bother them and what they would do when it bothered them. That's the way Larry, that was his gamesmanship. So that's really the only story I can tell you about Larry. I just think he's one of the brightest guys that I know. So that's my story on Larry. What else you want to know?
Well, okay. Didn't we talk about this before when you guys played the Chicago Bulls first round of the playoffs? And you guys went out. It might have been you and Roby, and you went out with Bird. And the Chicago Bull cheerleaders bought you beers, figuring that they could get Larry drunk. And then Larry lit him up and then walked off the floor and walked by the cheerleaders and said, "Thanks for the beers."
Oh, my God.
I can tell you the story, but the story is true.
Yo.
that is very typically Larry.
Okay. All right.
He knew right away. He knew what was happening. He knew right away what was happening. And again, okay, so we talk about motivation. For Larry, that's another motivation for him. So he could have that in his mind. So when he walked off the court, he can let you know, hey, you can do whatever you want. Doesn't make a difference to me.
I love that.
But that's Larry.
I'm still going to work you.
That he knows that the cheerleaders are buying him beers, and then he just thanked him for the beers after I think you guys eliminated the Bulls.
You never
my God.
trash talker?
Oh, to other players.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
my
Bob, give us a
goodness.
couple of stories of him talking trash.
I was gonna say.
Oh my goodness. One thing you got to give Larry Bird, he could be red hot or ice cold. He never stopped talking trash. Ever. Ever. Ever.
I got one, Coop.
Great story. Playing the Phoenix Suns, and their main man was Tom Chambers, and Chambers was guarding Larry.
Larry Bird with a left-handed hook. Watch how he comes up on the other side. Two-handed. Tail the rebound to Bird.
Dang.
Back to Paris. Nice. Pick and roll. Hornacek had it, lost it.
And so in the jump ball circle, Larry walked through myself and Chambers, and then came back and told Chambers, I know you guarding me, and I want you to know something. There's only one man that can guard me, and that's God.
Oh,
think about the confidence and the arrogance it takes to make that There's statement. someone that's very important.
Yo, Larry cold.
Larry Joe Bird. When I was a young child, I would pray to a Larry Joe Bird poster before I would go to games.
Can you say that again?
I would pray to a Larry. It was the Legend poster. You know the poster Legend?
Of course.
And he's got the basketball. He's just standing there, not an action shot. I would pray to it. I would say, Larry, let me get some buckets tonight.
Damn.
And then I would leave the house. But I was playing in Western
classy.
Massachusetts. You played for Larry Joe Bird in the National Basketball Association. I think it's another level. It hits different when you're in the
Just a little bit.
Yeah, it does. It
Just
does.
a little bit.
I've got an update on Larry Joe Bird. An artist named Muck Rock wanted to do a tribute to Larry Bird in Fountain Square in Indianapolis.
I like that name, Muck Rock.
So they made a mural. Problem is, they tatted up Larry.
Whoa.
And we had to blur out some of it.
Was that a 76ers tattoo?
We had to blur out some of it
Got a Marcus
because
Camby
they had fornicating rabbits on his arm. So you know what happened? Larry Bird don't play.
tats on his face.
Sent the lawyers.
Tattoo tears.
Sent the lawyers. The lawyers said, no. You gotta take the tats off. So the artist had to redo the mural with the tattoos off. What do you think about Larry Bird having his lawyers remove the tattoos from the mural?
It comes with the territory. I mean, here's a gentleman that's been for public consumption for as long as we've been alive and has kept a pristine reputation. Has done so very much in the community. Obviously, he's a legend across the world, but especially in Indiana. And so when you see that, it's a mix of culture and playing for Larry, following Larry while he was in the league. He's not saying take the tattoos off because he doesn't want the artists to express themselves. He's saying take it off because he doesn't want people to ever think that he's trying to represent something that he wasn't.
Okay.
And so in being around him long enough, I'm pretty sure that when he saw it, he was like, all right, that's probably not the representation that I want to have out there.
Jalen, I love Larry so much. I will never, ever tire of hearing Larry Bird stories. When you were playing for him, did he ever yell at you?
Yeah.
What would he say?
Get back, Jalen, get on D.
Oh, he expected you to play defense?
Yeah. Help, Jalen. It seemed like all he heard my name was on defense. On offense, he didn't call my name at all. On defense, I heard my name a lot.
Did he ever give you a compliment?
No, but in all honesty, like the B1000,
okay.
Larry was the guy that helped validate me. My career needed to be refreshed. It needed to be remixed. I played 2 years in Denver. First year, fortunately, I broke their rookie assist record. Second year, we made it to the playoffs. That offseason, I got traded. Third year, Indiana, Larry Brown gave me 15 DNPs. And he's a Hall of Fame coach that left. So now it's do or die for me as a young player. When Larry Bird talks to the media, it was like, I'm going to turn Jalen into the player that's going to live up to his potential.
Yep.
I cut that out and put that on the refrigerator, bro. I'm like, I'm about to own it. So coming off the bench for Larry and then being ushered into the starting lineup, Rick Carlisle, I got to owe him a lot of credit for my development. along with the vets I had on the team like Reggie Miller, Mark Jackson, Chris Mullen, the Davis boys in protecting me, my brother Travis Best. So again, Larry Bird helped revitalize me to the point where now I'm eating all of the steak and lobster that I ever want. I'm traveling across the world. You would think Magic Johnson go to Italy and spend $10 million. But I can go to Italy and spend $150 if I need to. You know what I mean?
So, question for you. What's Larry really like? Like, what's his personality? Because we hear a lot of different stories.
Well, Larry is like the commercial E.F. Hutton. When he talks, people listen. It's not a waste of words. He could have dealt with Twitter at 140 characters. He didn't need it to be 180 or whatever it is now. And so being somebody that was straightforward and honest is the best thing you want as a professional. Hey, Jacoby, you working really hard.
I am.
But this matchup doesn't work for you.
Well, tell me, when you watched Larry's game, Smitty, what it was that jumped out at you that has him held in such high regard throughout the NBA?
Well, I think, Ernie, like we all know, it's a tough decision with those three. Unbelievable players. But just to talk about Larry, for me to see the guy who can shoot the basketball, but then also be able to change his game up, but to do whatever he had to do to win.
And then you got that arrogant, cocky Larry Bird, trash-talking all the time.
And was he really arrogant? Was he really, really arrogant?
Well, yeah, he could back it up. So when you're arrogant and you can back it up, you're not arrogant, you're just good. And Larry was good. And but
the best guy I played against might have been Larry Bird, someone like that.
How good was
Michael
Bird?
Jordan.
I don't think people
don't
look
appreciate
at him and think,
they
he's
said,
a white guy,
he's
slow guy.
a chubby white guy. He wore us out, man. Because he just, this muscle here, the one between his ears, that was his best, because he made the three-pointers and he had assists and rebounded, steals. He was always at the right place at the right time.
Listening to a game. It's New Mexico State playing Indiana State. I don't really care about the game, but New Mexico State is right up the streets from El Paso, and I went to UTEP, and we're big rivalries. So I'm hoping that Indiana State will beat New Mexico State. And I'm listening to the radio, and I have no clue of the players on either team. All of a sudden, this name keeps coming. Bird. He goes to the right, Bird. He makes the shot, Bird.
Half court.
Damn, who was Bird? Bird. Here's Bird. And Bird this, and Bird. Oh, did you see the pass that Bird made? I can't see it, but I'm just trying to imagine it. When the time I got to the end, I said, damn, that brother can play. When I got the newspaper the next morning and saw Larry's picture, I said, damn.
Players in our generations, Larry Legend, Larry Bird, says every time anybody talks to him about, guys that guarded him back in the 80s, who was the best, he doesn't even hesitate to say Michael Cooper was the best defensive player that he ever played against. What do you think about that coming from a guy like Larry?
Of all the accolades that you could win or awards or anything like that, that's probably the one that I cherish the most. But what I always tell people about that is you guys, you, Magic, Worthy, Kareem, I was only as good as you guys were giving me my help. Larry got by me several times, but you were always there, B. Scott. Magic was always there. So it was like me and you tag teaming on these great scores. The job that I did wouldn't have been great without you guys, my teammates.
To me, it's just super, super sad that because of the fact that I was born in the early 80s, I only got to see Larry play like 1 or 2 seasons when his back was broken, and he was still a very effective player in basketball IQ off the charts, but obviously some of the physical attributes that he had were gone. And just to imagine that...
If his back ain't never break or he ain't had no back problems, is we talking about more rings? I mean... From just watching his video, like his highlights, this man was so nasty, bro. So I feel like he could have won more rings, bro. He never got hurt. Now, y'all let me know in the comment section how many rings y'all think he'd have in general, like if he ain't never had them back problems.
That I could have seen him play for real, maybe be in the Boston Garden and all those kind of things. It makes me so sad, Obviously, I'm grateful that I still had the VHS tapes and I was able to see reruns of certain games, but to see him in the Boston Garden, I mean, every one of you who had the chance, I am so jealous. I am so jealous because even until today, when you have players or journalists saying that, for example, Luka Doncic, who's a great player, don't get me wrong, comparing him to Larry Bird, but to me, I could seriously, literally see genius, basketball genius in this man. And for me personally, for example, it's super hard because my only outlets speaking about those things is my YouTube channel. I unfortunately don't have too many people around in my area or in my network that actually go that deep and go that way back into 80s, 90s basketball. But yeah, just the thought of being there. Anyway, you guys, let me know in the comments below. Did you enjoy the video? What is your favorite Larry Bird story? Did you see him play? Share some love about Larry Legend, and
shout out my boy, whoever made this video. What's his name? BTM Basketball Time. Shout out, salute. Shout out to him. This is a real good video. Well put together. I wish it was longer, bro. I wish it was about like 2 hours, bro. It was a good video, good stories, bro. Good little movie story time. But they said something about Luka. Bird was on another level, bro. Like Luka like that for real, but we gotta still see he's still early in his career. But I think Bird and Magic was they on levels by themselves, bro. And MJ, obviously. All three of them. But y'all let me know in the comment section down below what video to react to next when it comes to this rabbit hole of the GOAT debate. You see what I'm saying? I'm out though, y'all.